Hey, I'm Dr. Patty Bart, and I'm bringing you a science lesson. This science lesson has been specifically crafted for people who are being cornered, right? They're feeling like they are being forced to make a medical decision that is against their better judgment, against their will, and really against the law. But anyway, what I wanted to do is walk you through some science so that when you meet with your manager and when you meet with human resources, because please, please, please do not just decide to comply without having a conversation or multiple conversations expressing your concern and bringing to the conversation some of the information that I'm going to share with you here today. Because it has gotten to the point that this medical procedure is all risk and zero benefit, and it can actually be even worse than zero benefit. It can be negative compared to any potential positives, which are gone, and I'm going to walk you through that. So what I want you to do is I want you to take a look get on the internet and do some research about the data in Gibraltar, Iceland, the United Kingdom, and Israel, just to name a few. So these are high participation countries, right? These are countries with even 99 to 100% compliance rate when it comes to having this medical procedure done. And they are having cases going through the roof, and their case outcomes are worse than in areas where they have a lower compliance rate with this medical procedure, okay? This is where I'm going with this, so stay with me. I'm going to start by talking about bacteria because it's something that you have heard of and you're familiar with, and then I'm going to tell you how it works in the other kind of bugs. So in bacteria, we've all heard of antibiotic-resistant bacteria. So what happens in the case where you bring in antibiotics, which are designed to kill bacteria, those bacteria start to freak out and they realize they're getting killed, and so they change their genetic expression. They literally morph into a different genetic expression so that antibiotic no longer can kill them, and they're resistant to it so that they can survive and thrive. The whole goal of these microorganisms is to survive and thrive. So this is called selection pressure. When something comes in that causes the microorganism to mutate in order to be able to survive. So we're seeing this happen with the current outbreak because, and as world-renowned experts in the development of these types of medical procedures, will tell you that you don't do this type of medical therapy during an outbreak because it creates this selection pressure, which leads to mutants, also called scariants, that can be more transmissible than the original kind. And this is where we're at now. And so what you need to understand, the original bug, the one with the 19, is the one that all of the medical procedures were designed around the particular pointy protein on the outside of the pathogen, and what it's supposed to do is get your body to attack that pointy protein with antibodies. But here's what happened. The selection pressure caused the pathogen to change their pointy protein. So it's like they dyed their hair, right? So you have a BOLO, right? Be on the lookout for the blonde pointy protein. And so everybody across the world's immune system was set up to go after this blonde pointy protein. But then the pathogen realized, like, hey, if I change my hair color, I can evade this pressure. And so it mutates, changes its hair color, and now the BOLO is out there to go after the blonde pointy protein, and the redhead pointy protein is walking around like, you can't see me. And so this is what happens. So in these types of situations, what consistently happens is that the transmissibility of the redheads goes through the roof. It's very easily spread, but the expression is less. So it's not as bad of a thing because it's against the best wishes of the pathogen for it to kill its host, because then it can't spread itself as well. So instead of killing its host, it just makes it sick. And during the sickness is how it spreads. So the good news is that it's not as severe. The bad news is that it does spread more. The other good news is there's medication available, and I have other posts on that. But so what I want you to realize is all of the medical procedures are going after the blonde pointy protein, and they're useless. And there's much evidence coming to the surface that the people who got the medical procedure against the blonde pointy protein are having worse outcomes than the ones who had no medical procedure done at all. And this is, I can't say the words because it's going to get filtered, but this is a known, well-documented thing that happens, especially when these medical procedures are deployed during an outbreak, which is the absolute wrong time to do these types of medical procedures. You want to do the let's fix it with these generic products that we have that have been around for decades and proven to actually work. Okay. So let me make sure I have everything. Okay, so you're going to go to your human resources, you're going to go to your manager, and you're going to talk about the fact that these quote unquote breakthroughs are actually failures because they were designed to go against the blonde pointy protein, which is gone. That flippin' thing is gone. It's all redheads now. And the new things, the things that came out do not work against the redheads. So why would you take all the risk, because we are seeing more and more and more things coming to the surface about the detriments long term, and we are still not even in the long term because we are only months out from the initial. We are not years out. We are not looking at long-term effects at all. There is zero long-term data. So you're being forced to put something in your body that it no longer works because it's going over against the wrong pointy protein. It has all of the risk. I mean, there are warnings against the problems that happen in the heart. There are warnings against the problems that happen in the blood. I am getting private messages from nurses reporting that they are seeing significant neurological effects. And now most recently, there is like a red flag up against thyroid and parathyroid effects. There are people coming in who have had this medical procedure done who are having thyroid storms and hypercalcemia because their thyroid or parathyroid is just really jacked up right now. We're seeing increases in shingles like you read about because the immune system has been compromised by the chronic inflammation from the cytotoxic, which is poison to the cell, blonde pointy protein. So you need to have this conversation with your employer about, okay, these breakthrough cases are actually, these are failures. These are failures because they were designed to go after the blonde. The blonde is gone, redhead now moving forward. And by the time they come out with the redhead procedure, there's going to be the brown-haired pointy protein. It's going to keep changing. So what to do? Keep immune system strong and utilize the very safe, very proven prescriptions that have been, you can't even say the words on YouTube or you'll get shut down. You can't say the words on Facebook or you get shut down. But my own father got the prescriptions and recovered fully within a matter of days. And so I just want you to have these conversations. Do not roll up your sleeve without having conversations with as many people above you as you can and bring to the meetings this data from Gibraltar, Israel, Iceland, United Kingdom, and talking about the breakthrough cases proving that the thing doesn't flipping work anymore. Okay? Peace out.